Peace of mind is not something that can be bought in the market, nor can it be snatched from another person, because peace is born within, not outside. But humanity's greatest mistake is that it abandons its inner peace and searches for solace in the external world. It thinks that peace will come when money arrives, that the mind will be calm when circumstances change, that the heart will find peace when people understand. But the truth is that circumstances are never stable, people never fully understand, and desires never end. Therefore, the person who ties peace to conditions remains restless throughout life. Mental unrest arises when we trap our minds between the anxieties of the future and the burdens of the past, when we react to everything, when we accept every comparison as truth, and when we let every failure define us. The truth is, you are not your failures, nor are you your successes. You are the consciousness that observes all of these things. The day a person understands that thoughts come and go, but they themselves are not the thoughts, that is the day the first lock on the mind breaks. Because the crowd of thoughts is the noise of the mind, and as soon as the noise ends, peace manifests itself, just as the water of a lake becomes clear when the waves subside. Similarly, the truth of life becomes visible when the mind is calm. The first step towards peace of mind is acceptance, accepting that not everything is under my control, that not everyone will act according to my wishes, that every day will not go according to my plan. And this acceptance is not a weakness, but a great strength, because the person who fights against everything gets tired, but the one who learns to let go of certain things becomes free. The mind is most disturbed when we cling to things that cannot be changed. Someone insulted you, someone betrayed you, someone didn't appreciate your worth. These are all events, but when we keep reliving them in our minds, these events become poison. Buddha said that holding on to anger is like holding a burning coal. Holding a burning coal in your hand and expecting the other person to get burned is futile. Peace comes the day you acknowledge your suffering but don't cling to it, when you cry but don't break down, when you accept that yes, there is pain, but this pain is not my future. The second step to peace of mind is lowering expectations, because the higher the expectations, the deeper the disappointment. We often expect things from others that they simply cannot give, and then we become unhappy and say the world is bad, when the truth is that we placed our expectations in the wrong place. When you learn to love without expectations, when you learn to act unconditionally, your mind becomes lighter, because now your happiness doesn't depend on someone else's behavior. The third gateway to peace is living in the present moment, because the mind is never at peace when it seeks fear in future fantasies or regret in past memories. The present is the only place where life is happening, but the mind doesn't want to stay there. It remains entangled in what will happen or trapped in what has happened, and this wandering is called restlessness. The day you learn the art of breathing in this moment, of living in this moment, that day the mind gradually begins to calm down, because peace is not a goal, it is a state, an experience, which manifests when the mind stops resisting. When you stop asking every situation, why me, and start asking, what is this here to teach me, then even suffering becomes a teacher, and life ceases to be a burden. Another profound secret to peace of mind is befriending yourself, because a person who constantly fights with themselves, who considers themselves inferior, who blames themselves all the time, can never have a peaceful mind. When you accept yourself as you are, with your weaknesses, with your mistakes, then a heavy burden is lifted from your mind, because now you don't have to pretend to be perfect. It's true, you just need to be authentic, and truth is always light. The mind finds peace when you understand that life is not a race to be won, but a journey to be understood. Everyone has a different pace, everyone has a different path, so letting go of the poison of comparison is the elixir of peace. The day you learn to be inspired by others' success instead of being jealous, that's the day your mind has attained maturity. Peace comes when you start listening to your inner voice more than the external noise. because the inner voice never shouts. It speaks softly, but it speaks the truth. And when you learn to listen to it, the complexities of life begin to unravel on their own.